Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. Now it's time for another mixy disky with my whiskey, and I ain't talking about the drink. Soup noodle was a hell of an exploration, but if we keep on eating all these liquids, we might turn into water, or we might turn into some soup, or, you know, maybe turn into something runny. So I think it's time we take a break from all the liquids and all the soups and all the noodles, and we turn over to some bread to absorb some of this liquid that we have sitting inside of our body. But as much as I wish we can stay outside for this one, I don't have the resources to cook any of these things outside. Well, you know, never say never, because maybe I do. But right now, I don't know if I do. So we shall find out along this journey. But we do need to go inside. You shrimping strippers, y'all found me again. Yeah! Today, I have for y'all something new. I know that y'all have been so used to the soup noodle, but today it's not soup noodle. We're going with bread or cake. Bread, cake, you know, bread, cake, whatever. Same thing, not same thing, probably isn't the same thing. It doesn't matter though. We're cooking the viral or famous or, I don't know, Japanese pancakes, the souffle pancakes. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I don't even really know what I'm talking about. I've seen them here and there, but I didn't know that they were viral. So why not start with something that's good? Looks fluffy, looks moist. Let's get into it. Hopefully that video is playing somewhere. I want to show y'all like an example of what I'm talking about. I just don't know where I'm gonna put it at. So I'm just gonna point to all different areas in this sucker and hope, you know, yeah, and the ingredients. Let's get to it. Now, when it comes to using flour in things such as cakes and breads and bacon and anything bacon-wise that has to do with bread or flour, like I said before, and I'm saying it again because this is very important. Man, look, I know what I'm doing when it comes to the box, but from scratch? Oh man. But look, if we're trying to be some type of chef or some type of cook, we gotta learn how to cook everything, every culture, every food, every shape, every form. If it's food, if it's something that can be eaten, we should know how to use it. But as you guys can see, I do have all my ingredients and I am ready. I'm ready to dive into this thing. I'm pumped, I'm excited. Whoo, I can't even stay still. I got the jittery ditteries. Woo, woo. All right, we gotta stay on topic. So look, some little things I have though, so we can start things off with a good start. We gotta start with a good foundation, because without a good foundation of, you know, materials, you won't really be cooking with no grease, because you won't have the right things to make your breads and cakes and whatever, man. We gotta talk about that one day. Whatever, soft enough. What? Soft enough. What the, like what? So, we got our strainer. I almost called this a sifter. Why do I want to call this a sifter? Is this a sifter? This has to be also called a sifter. I don't know. We got that Pyrex bowl. You dig? Whipping in the Pyrex. Got my wrist hurt. Then we have the measuring cup. Need the measuring cup because I'm no calculator. We also have our eggs. Always go with the brown. Never with the white eggs. The brown eggs are better for you. No cap. Then we got our Milky Delky. If you're not drinking Fairlife, then I don't know what you're doing. I am not sponsored by nobody in this video, I promise y'all. I just been drinking Fairlife literally probably now for like 6-7 years. It changed my life the first time I had it. Then we got our whisk. I hadn't used a whisk since I lived with my grandma. Man, I moved out of my grandma's house when I was like 7. Man, that's crazy. Hadn't used a whisk at all. Been in my mom's house for like, I don't know how many years. And yeah, never used a sift in here. We also got a scale. I never thought that I'd be using a scale when it comes to cooking and stuff, because I see people use this for all type of cooking products. And I'm like, man, like, I'm gonna just stick to my measuring cup. But I think the scale is actually gonna do us a lot of good use when it comes to cooking the things that we're about to be cooking during this series. Then we got that handy dandy for Fanny. What is this thing even called? A mixer? What's it called? A hand mixer. We need this. This is very important. In the research that I've done, the little research that I've done, I've seen that these are very important in making these breads and cakes, and we gotta talk about it. You know, fluffy. Then we got some Earl. You need Earl. I feel like you need Earl with damn near all the stuff we're gonna be cooking. Vanilla extract. I don't know if we'll be needing it throughout this whole series, but we'll probably need it here and there, and I do know we need it today. And then we got our flour and our sugar. I think we're ready to shiggity diggity. So the ingredients that call for this dish are 2 eggs, 20 milliliters of milk or 4 tablespoons, 30 grams or 3.3 tablespoons of, oh, wait, see, I'm already messing up. I'm forgetting what I learned in Pro Start. See, it's been a long time. Correction, 20 milliliters or 4 teaspoons of milk. Teaspoons, not tablespoons. Then 30 grams or 3.3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Then 1.25 milliliters or 1 1/4 tablespoon of vanilla extract, which is optional, but we're definitely gonna put that vanilla extract in there because I feel like it's gonna give us that, you know, little extra sweetness that's not too sweet. That's that subtle sweet that we love about things. And then last but not least, we have our sugar, which is just 25 grams and 2 tablespoons. Well, not or 2 tablespoons, you know. Now, before we get into things, into the nitty gritty, I just want to take a moment and say shout out to Qiong Cooking. I think that's his name. Qiong Cooking. Shouts out to Qiong Cooking. If it wasn't for Qiong Cooking, we probably wouldn't even know how to make this. He gave us the recipe to this. He gave it to us. I'm gonna link his channel in the description. Y'all don't worry. So the first thing this dish calls for is 2 eggs, but not just 2 eggs, crack them and put them in there like we're making some brownies. No, just 2 egg yolks. So we gotta put our skills to use. And we gotta get this yolk out of this membrane, I guess that is. That has to be a membrane, right? Let me find out I remember the little something from school. Hey, I think I'm getting, that was close. I think I'm getting better at this, y'all. Now it calls for 1/3 of milk, and we got that sucker right on the money. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo. Now it's time to give it a mix, but we can't give it a mix without our handy dandy whisk. I'm not a rapper. That kind of rhymes. That was easier than what I thought. Ooh, that was satisfying. If y'all can't tell by the bubbles, I was whisking my wrist. Hey, y'all gotta admit though, that does make a pretty yellow. It's like banana yellow. Reminds me of Laffy Taffy. Shake that Laffy Taffy. That Laffy Taffy, girl, shake that Laffy Taffy. Ooh. Now we need 3.3 tablespoons, right? Yeah, 3.3 tablespoons or 30 grams of all-purpose flour. So now we get to use the scale. Now we get to use the scale. I mean, come on. Can y'all name a YouTuber where you can go and get a good cooking session, even a cooking lesson, a unboxing, a haul, and a good time, and a good laugh all at once? Working. Oh, no way they did me dead. Oh, they did me dirty. Y'all, they did me. Fuck! I need batteries. Damn. Oh, I'm about to steal. Oh, 2 AAA batteries. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to the store. I'm not leaving this house to get no batteries. I will rob everything in this house of AAA batteries before I go to the store and get some batteries. Y'all know how it be. All right, false alarm. Mom had 2 AAA batteries in the closet. We're good. No crimes were committed. We are still doing good. Now we in business. Oh yeah. We got our bowl up there and it's zeroed out. Time to use the scale. Okay, dang, I just realized I made a mistake, but it still looks right. So he said that I could put 1/3 cups of milk on top of the yolk, or it was like something teaspoons. And I measured it out in tablespoons. But when I measured it out in tablespoons and put it in my measuring cup to check that the 1/3 was the same, it lined up to the same. So did he make a mistake or did we make a mistake? I guess we'll find out whenever we cook it, but y'all know it looks fine. Hopefully we're fine. This time I know for a fact the ingredient said 3.3 tablespoons. So we got a tablespoon here and we also got our cup on our scale to double check our work. Hey, but I'm also about to show y'all a little trick that I learned in ProStart. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's really a trick per se, but it's what you're supposed to do whenever you're measuring out dry ingredients, because you want to always have the exact. So you give it like a little shake and then you just scruff it off the top, scruff it off the top, scruff it off the top, scruff it off the top. Make sure it's smooth, and that's it. I'm not quite sure if you were supposed to compact it or not. I think you just, oh man, no, you don't compact it. I think you just scoop it up and then you sift it off the top, or why do I keep wanting to use the word sift? I don't know, maybe that is the right word, but you scrape a little bit off the top or the little excess off the top and you're ready to rock and roll. All my bakers out there and my cookers, y'all help me. I know y'all out there somewhere, help me. It's all about precision. And we get to use our new strainer. Yeah! I really feel like Betty Crocker doing this. Oh man, this is, man, I'm getting somewhere in life. Here, little, watch. I'm about to hit that Betty Crocker shake. Ooh, make it, make it. Now it's time for another mixy disky with my whiskey. And I ain't talking about the drink, and I ain't talking about the drink, and I ain't talking about the drink, no. And the shenanigans begin. My stuff was way too watery, so I had to add more flour. Man, I'm getting scared. I added more flour and it still looks like water. I'm gonna keep adding more flour. That's all I can really do. It's getting better, but dog, I'm about to add another egg yolk. I'm doing it. Thought it was a game. Now that I'm thinking of it, it's probably the eggs, because I use brown eggs and brown eggs tend to be smaller than white eggs. Okay, I just wasted the egg. That didn't really make a difference. So now, more flour. There we go. Now we got it to that thick consistency that we need. Now we get to use some vanilla extract. Now we need 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh, it smells so good. Ooh. Give this a good stir. And maybe I need 2 hands. You know, it's a good thing I saved my egg whites, because something in my heart told me that I would need them for this dish, but I didn't save the third egg whites. So if this doesn't make what we need, then I'll just crack another egg, get some egg whites, throw them in there, put them in the blendy blend, and we'll be good to go. So we do have to hand mix, wink, wink, hand mix with the electric hand mixer, our egg whites, and we're gonna make some froth probably. I've never done this before, so this should be really, really fun and much of an experience for the both of us, for you who have not done it as well. Egg whites, oh, that was slimy. Now we cannot blend any egg whites without our electric hand mixer, and you know what that calls for. Unboxing time. Is it just me, or every time you get something new, it feels like Christmas? Rather, if you order it, if you go buy it, if it's given to you, it feels like Christmas. Man, like, I'm so excited. I know what's in here, but what's really in here, you know? Damn, if I can open it. Oh. I hadn't used one of these since I baked with my grandma. I'm excited. This is bringing back memories, man. This is fun. This is so fun. It even came with a holding station. Oh, this is, yeah, it's a holding station. This is great. Hook up our new tool. Oh, dang. I wasted my money on a whisk. Shouldn't it be 2 of those in there? That makes no sense. Why would it only come with 1 whisk? No, yeah, I just read on the box and it comes with these, or whatever these are, and then this, which is called a beater and a whisk. It comes with only 1. Why? Why not 2? Look how thin this is. Y'all could have gave me 2. Y'all could have spared a little bit more aluminum or something. Click and clap. And you better get back when I do that. I'm so scared. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, Lord. Why is nothing happening? Nah, never mind. That sucker did the damn thing. Now we need 2 tablespoons of that sugar wooger. Not that booger sugar, that sugar wooger. What the little owl sitting on the tree said, a 1, a 2. Man, let me find out I really know what I'm doing. I was told to add more, so that's all I'm gonna do. 1, a 2. So basically what y'all telling me is, I just got taught how to make homemade whipped cream. Mine's kind of runny though, but it'll do. Should I add a 3rd egg? No. Never mind, we have to add 2 more tablespoons of sugar. A 1, a 2. My stuff still isn't whipping like whipping cream, so I'm adding other egg. I don't care. I don't care. I'm adding other egg. I have to add the other egg. What could it possibly do wrong? Precision is key. Booyah. At this point, I don't know. My stuff looks like water and his stuff looks like whipping cream, but we gonna still let it roll. That was satisfying. And it has gone watery again. Bro, what is going on? What am I doing wrong, guys? I'm sending it. I'm full sending it. I'm still sending it. Innovation is key, and y'all go see what we're about to use this for. But can y'all guess what we're about to use it for? So being the president of the Bitty Bitty Relationship Committee, I am obligated to ask you guys this question. And I don't want y'all to be biased at all in these questions, but I do just want a genuine answer here. And the question is, look, I'm gonna ask my ladies first. Do your mans or your man or your hubby or your boo thing or your pookie, do they have trouble cooking, or baking? Let me say that. Do they have trouble baking or making breaded or flour-oriented dishes whenever your presence is absent? Just very curious about that situation there. And for my gentlemen, do y'all feel like y'all have a hard time executing that bake or that flour-based dish without your significant other, without your boo-boo, without your baby, your sweet cakes, your big booty, your little booty, your cute booty, your eyes of 1,000 lies, because I know some of y'all be lying to y'all wives. The moment of truth is slowly becoming the truth of the moment, so you know we had to get out the handy dandy cast iron. Y'all don't know nothing about these cast irons. But before we start cast iron cooking, we gotta put all of our pancake mix, attempted souffle pancake mix, into the bag so that we can squeeze it into a perfect little circle, hopefully. I don't know if that perfect circle is gonna come about. This stuff is kind of thick. No, this stuff is kind of thin. I'm thinking about it being thick. I wish it was thick, but it's thin. So I don't think it's gonna hold the shape that we need it to hold, but it's only one way to find out, and that's put it on that hot cast iron. Actually, before we put it on the cast iron, we have to put it in the bag, but y'all know what I was getting at. Innovation. It smells good and we got a good consistency going on, but it's not the consistency that we actually need, man. It's not, I just don't think it's thick enough, guys. This looks like regular pancake mix, and we're making Japanese street food souffle pancakes, not regular. You know, guys, I was so excited coming into this dish. I was so excited. And then things started to take off, and they just wasn't going our way, and they never started going our way. So I don't want to call this a lost cause just quite yet, but man, this stuff is like water, literally water. These are gonna be regular pancakes. Yeah, they may have a fluff, but they're not gonna be the pancake that I'm looking for, bro. Damn, man. I guess everything can't go our way, but damn, it at least could have gave us a little something. This is like a big ass bag of titty milk. What I'm gonna do with this? But y'all do know we always find a positive in a situation, and like I told you guys a while back, you always wanna make sure you clean up your area on the go. I was doing a bad job, I was, but you see it now. You see anything? Clean. We got the cast iron oil looking real greasy, and it's time to get real easy and real heaty. I'm gonna let y'all know now, I have no faith in these pancakes being the way that I wanted them to be, but I'm gonna keep good hope, I guess. So let's get it. Now, once we add these pancakes, we have to make sure that we add some droplets of water, because we don't want things to overcook. We want things to steam and rise, not burn and, I don't want to say that bad word. It start with a D. Y'all know what I was about to say. I want to kind of refrain from saying that word here on YouTube, because I don't think that YouTube likes that word. I literally just clipped off the tip for y'all, and it was so satisfying, but my stupid ass forgot to click the record button, so I'm sorry that y'all didn't get to experience that satisfaction that I got to experience, but there will be another time because I'm pretty sure this is not gonna come out the way that we need it to. Bro, no, look at this, y'all. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Look how sad that pancake is. Just look at it. So I didn't add the water or the lid because I'm trying to see something. We gotta experiment here because look how sad, just look how sad it is. It's so flat, no volume. We're getting a few bubbles like a regular pancake, but not a souffle pancake. Things are smelling great, I'll tell you that, but they just don't look how I want them to. Damn, that's depressing. So here's what I'm thinking, guys. We let the pancake cook for a little while, okay? Maybe with the top on, top off, doesn't really matter. Let it get a good base. Then we add some more pancake mix on top, but now it has that base and we're gonna hope it doesn't run over. Then we can put the top on there and let everything cook. I was so excited. So I decided to smack the top on there too. So trial and error. This is gonna be our test run with this first one. Then we'll try to figure something out with the second one, but I don't know if we really will. The first one's done. I mean, it makes a hell of a pancake. Oh man, oh wait, hold up. Oh shit, wait. Y'all, the consistency on this pancake. This sucker may be flat, but I promise you when I bite into it, it felt like I was biting into something 3D. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine how this thing would taste if I was to do it correctly. Yeah, we definitely gotta get this right. We gotta get this right. We gotta get this right, because this thing is good. I don't even need syrup. We gotta get this right. Now it's time for us to give our little method that we've came up with. We ran a little science project, all right? We formed a hypothesis, and now we're gonna put this hypothesis to test and see if it actually works. Man, this thing works. Y'all might see me do a backflip. I don't even know how to do a backflip unless I'm on a trampoline, but I might just learn how to do one today on this hard tile. Step 2, that burned. Why did I just say step 2? Oh, shit. All right, we got good bubbles. Now we need to go with some more. Oh yeah, this gonna work, this gonna work. As long as it stays. I don't think it's gonna stay, y'all. It's running over. Damn, it's running over, y'all. Maybe I can create a steam. I see more holes, so it's time for a flip, but I'm a little scared about this one because we took a different route. Looks cool, but see? I don't know what we made, but it looked kind of good. It looks satisfying. Reminds me of it kind of looks like Kirby, but then it kind of looks like a sea turtle. Y'all tell me. Now, as y'all already know, things didn't come out the way we wanted them to. They didn't, but that's okay because the taste and the texture were still there through the whole thing. Now just imagine if things were made with more volume. Look how sad this pancake is. And it still had fluff. Y'all think about that. And it's a crazy fluff that you get from the pancake when you bite into it. Cause when I bit into it, I expected like a bready pancake or, just that regular, bready texture. But I bit into it and it's like it made like a spongy noise. But then it also gave me kind of like this soft but firm bite. But then you start chewing, and as you chew, it kind of dissolves as you chew. Like, I don't know, this thing is like weirdly firm, soft. That's the best way I can put it. But I feel like we need to try this thing with some syrup. Yes, this one did come out a little bit thicker, but that's not gonna change too much consistency of the dish, and neither will this syrup. But we need to try it with some syrup because it has its own good sweetness to it. It reminds me of a McGriddle from McDonald's. Y'all, I just got a crazy idea. What if we made a McGriddle out of the Japanese souffle pancakes? Not today, probably no time soon at all, but that could be a good idea. And man, it smells like a pancake, but there's like a more sweet, fresh smell coming from it. Man, this is, Let's just take a moment. Take a moment, get a close up, and no, I'm not capping. Y'all see the back? I did my thing. They just not, happy. They're a little thin, not too thick, but, little things need love too. Also, I'm gonna just say this right now. I don't think y'all ever seen anybody in this world eat chopsticks. Eat chopsticks. Use chopsticks to eat pancakes. What a handy dandy big knife. I got a big knife and little chopsticks. Y'all ain't never seen a combination like this. Down by the riverside, hanky panky whirlpool, frog jump from bank to bank. Now I'll be honest with y'all here. I'm usually the guy to put a whole bunch of syrup on my pancake, but this time, this pancake doesn't call for too much syrup because it already has its own sweetness to it. And the sweetness that it gives is perfect. So you don't want to add too much syrup and make it unperfect. Let's give it a cut. Ooh. Just look at the inside of this thing. It doesn't even, I don't know if the camera's doing y'all justice, but it really does not look like the, wow. Like it really doesn't look like a pancake inside. I don't know if it, maybe I just hadn't seen pancakes in a long time, because now that I'm looking at it a little more, I think my brain is playing tricks on me because of how it tastes and how it is in my mouth. Whoa, what? No, it's time to eat. Okay, that was a good bite, but I don't think that I let one piece cook enough because it tasted like an egg. That just threw me completely off guard. I just bit into this expecting sweetness of joy, and I got an egg. That just, yeah, I did that. I really didn't appreciate that. I didn't. So I will say this, being that this is a bigger pancake, I don't know if it's because it's heavier or what, it's not as airy as that thin one was. And it's probably because I double caked on that batter, or whatever you want to call it, the flour, the batter, the pancake mix. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. The pancake mix. So it's really thick, it's not as airy. As far as the sweetness goes though, it's not as sweet as the thin one either. And I would think that it would be sweeter because it's more, but the thin one was actually more sweet to me. Maybe it's just a brain thing, but definitely was more sweet. I wouldn't use syrup on the small ones, but I would use syrup on the big ones. And if I had to change one thing about this, I really don't know what I would change, because I don't know what I did wrong or where I went wrong. Maybe it was the milk, because that's the only time that I had a, an ingredient mishap. But other than that, I don't know where I could have possibly went wrong. And even with the milk, like I just, I think it was the milk. It definitely was the milk. It definitely was the milk, because yeah, dang. We'll try it again. We'll try it again. And now we know, ease up on the milk and really pay attention to the directions. And even if they do make a mishap in the video, we have to pick up on that mishap, So, but overall, I enjoyed it. If I was to give it a rating, I don't even know if I want to give these ratings. Like, it's kind of hard to rate a bread, or, it's hard to rate something like this. Okay, no, I got it. We're not gonna rate these 1 through 10 because you can't, it just doesn't make sense for this. I know how we're gonna do it. We're shrimps. We're all shrimpers. What do? We scavenge. So it's as simple as this. Is this something that I would go scavenge for? Yeah, I'll go scavenge for it. I would. Would I bring a little bit of syrup with me? I might, on the way, pick up a little syrup, holding on one of my little arms, legs, whatever you call that little sucker. You know what I'm talking about. Today was fun. It was, but it involved so much chaos. I did not expect that to go like that. I thought that things would go very smooth for us, being that this was something easy. It didn't seem too hard, but very quickly it got hard. Because one thing I learned about today is, when it comes to baking, it's not like cooking. Well, I don't really know what to call it because I didn't bake a pancake, but y'all know what I mean. When it comes to, measuring out things, when it comes to having the exact measurement, that stuff is like math. Because if you mess up one wrong thing, it messes up the whole dish. It won't give you a wrong answer, but it might not give you the answer that you so much like, or that you were so much looking for. But the only thing that we can do from this point on is get better and grow and take our time, because it'll get easier. I know some of y'all out there scavenging for that pancake, so y'all don't get lost, but y'all already know. If you're in the ocean and you're swimming, then you damn sure shrimping. Ciao now.